DC Universe and the CW join forces to bring us the newest hero into the Arrowverse. How does this new show measure up to the others? I'll be going over the series premiere and my thoughts on Stargirl. Before we begin, if this is your first time here, I go over 4K content and let you know my opinion on it and if I think it's worth the pickup. We do videos here every single week, so if that's something that interests you, be sure and check out the channel and consider subscribing. Now let's get into the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be going over my thoughts on the latest entry into the Arrowverse and if I think it's worth the watch. Now before I jump in, I thought I'd give a little background on the character. If you've watched Smallville, you may recognize the character from the Justice Society episodes later in the series, and she also popped up on a Season 2 episode of Legends of Tomorrow, both times played by different actresses. The character originated in DC Comics a few years ago and was the creation of Jeff Johns, who fashioned the character after his late sister. She's been very popular in the comics ever since and mainly interacts with the Justice Society. So I feel like this show has been in production for a long time. I think it was actually announced back when DC Universe premiered. It's been the series I've most been looking forward to despite having never read the comics. I've liked all of DC Universe's original programming and I've enjoyed the high production value. Stargirl begins with a flashback to when the original Starman died in battle. He's played by Joel McHale and I'm sure he'll pop up in flashbacks, or perhaps we haven't actually seen the last of him. We find out later in the episode that he was not in Courtney's life very much. She'd only seen him about 5 times. Luke Wilson plays Pat, who was the sidekick to Starman. I was honestly a little confused by this scene as Starman keeps telling Pat that he cannot take his place, and I felt like it was almost played for laughs, and it was just a little strange. Flashing forward to present day, we are introduced to 16-year-old Courtney Whitmore. She's a fairly typical angsty teenager, and she's being forced to move back to her mother's hometown. We discover that her mother is married to Starman's former sidekick, Pat. The series continues with the move to Courtney's mother's hometown, and now if the town looks familiar to you, it was filmed on location in Georgia, and although the information I read never said it was Covington, it looked very similar to where they filmed the Vampire Diaries and now Legacies. The clock tower downtown looked almost identical. I know they were going for a small town America vibe, but the town almost seemed too perfect with everyone saying hello. Again, I thought this might be played for laughs somehow. Eventually, Courtney attends the local high school and is immediately the outsider. She wants to join the gymnastics team but's told that it's no longer a thing. I did like that the show addressed the fact that Courtney was a gymnast, so it's not like she's suddenly this expert fighter or anything. She becomes a social outcast very early on, and we're introduced to some of her classmates who I'm sure we'll see more of in future episodes. Later after school, Courtney discovers the cosmic staff and some of Pat's things that has been stored in the basement. Now I thought this scene was kind of a mix between Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Harry Potter, but I felt like it worked. I thought the special effects on the staff were pretty decent as well. The episode moves on with Courtney becoming more familiar with the staff, and she even takes on some of the school bullies and shows off the power of the staff. Pat finds out that Courtney has the staff and tries to get her to leave it alone. She's convinced it chose her for a reason and believes that Starman may be her father. I was very confused by this scene because Pat seems as mystified by all of this as Courtney did. I figured he knew she was the daughter of Starman, but at this point it doesn't seem like he did, and if so, that's one big coincidence. As the episode comes to a close, we see Courtney take on one of the villains that fought the Justice Society, and we sort of end on a cliffhanger when we see that Pat has his own robot that looks to be made up of the car he owns, kind of something like you'd see on Transformers. I think as a whole the show was a more light-hearted than your typical Arrowverse shows, but it's not as wacky as Legends of Tomorrow. We discovered during a crisis event that this show takes place on a newly formed Earth 2, so don't expect any crossovers with the main Earth Prime heroes like Flash and Supergirl, at least not anytime soon. I did think the special effects on this show were a step above what you'd see on the CW, but the DC Universe shows have been better looking in general in my opinion. I'm definitely excited to see where this show goes because it gave me Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibes in the very best way, and I'm kind of intrigued by a teenage superhero who has to hide their identity. I'm also interested to see how this incorporates into the Arrowverse, or if it even will in the aftermath of Crisis. If this was just staying a DC Universe show, I could see it staying fairly independent like Titans and Doom Patrol or Swamp Thing, but being that it is a joint venture with the CW, it could make it a little bit more interesting. If you enjoy the other Arrowverse shows, I definitely think you'll enjoy this. I think it's going to be a unique combination of action and lightheartedness, and not quite as dark as Arrow or Batwoman, but not nearly as crazy as Legends. So I would definitely recommend checking this one out for sure. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and seeing where this show goes. If you have DC Universe, you can go ahead and check it out now. And if not, the CW is going to be playing it the day after. And then most of the time, I usually check things out on the CW app to watch since I don't have a local channel. So you can check it out on there. So anyways, hopefully this video has kind of given you an idea of what to expect from this show. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and be sure and give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know.